Oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's Hump Day.
Woohoo! Here we are, folks. We're back.
We made it.
Welcome back. Man, it was a short week.
It was. Words can't describe how I feel about it.
It went quick.
It went like this.
Yeah, over in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yes.
Anyway, here we are.
Yes.
Happy August, everybody.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
August already. So
Already
we're
a whole week
already
into August. Yeah.
We're already into the 8th month of the year.
Yes, the dog days of summer.
I always wonder, those places that do their,
Mhm.
Christmas in July, you
Right.
know, and it's like, it's the halfway point. No.
No.
You're like 7 months late one side and 5 months early the other. You're not in the middle.
Right.
If you really
It just
wanted to do
feels
it,
like it, yeah.
you put it in June.
Yeah.
Come on, get your calendar figured out. It's like, wait a minute. Shouldn't you be doing this like June 21st or
Right.
June 25th? I mean,
Right.
come on. Wouldn't that fit in the middle somewhere?
Yeah.
Hey, what do I know?
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so true. So true. Yeah, the calendar is an amazing thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And the other good news about that is we're a month closer to November, which means we're a month closer to getting out of hurricane season.
Mm-hmm.
We've been it's been nice and solemn out there, I guess you might
Yeah.
say. It's been quiet, so that's good. But anyway,
Yes.
yeah. You think about it. I mean, we're in hurricane season, so
We
you gotta,
are.
you think about what you do to get your house ready for hurricane season. Okay, there's a hurricane coming. I got to put the shutters up.
Right.
You think about what all is involved in getting a golf course ready for a storm. A storm's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got ball washers out there. They got tee markers, and they have flags in the. You got to pull all the flags out. You got to get the rakes up. There's a lot to do.
Right. You got 18 holes worth of stuff.
18 holes worth of stuff, plus
Yeah.
a range, plus your clubhouse. You got to get it on. I mean, you think about it. I mean, it's a pretty big endeavor to get
Right.
a golf course ready. Should a storm move in, you feel like you're in the bullseye, and you got to get ready for it.
So that's a good question, because the weather people want to give us 5 days out, pretty good notion as to what the weather will do.
Yeah.
How soon into that 5-day bullseye do they go to work? Yeah, I mean, they probably have
Yeah.
that all timed out.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously they want to leave the course open as
Yeah.
long as they can.
Yeah.
They don't want to turn away good business.
Yeah.
If it's not necessary.
Yeah.
So,
but at the same time,
yeah, you got to lock the place down.
you got to allow, and you've got to allow your employees enough time to get home and do what they need to do.
Yeah. Imagine that.
I mean, you think about it,
Yeah.
I would, many years ago, I talked to one of the superintendents and talked to him about that. And he's like, well, obviously, we've got all this. I mean, you think about it, you're driving along, and, they don't want you to drive too close to the tees. They don't want you to drive near the greens. So they have rope, stakes with rope out.
All right.
They got to go get all that.
Yeah.
They got to get the trash cans, they gotta get everything else. I know one superintendent had told me, their country club, they had a pool,
Mhm.
and he basically said, we take all the pool chairs and deck chairs and lounge chairs, and we throw them in the pool.
In the pool
They sink to the bottom, and we'll fish them out
later.
later.
Yeah.
We don't have anywhere else to really store them, so we'll
Right.
just throw them in the pool. They'll be
Problem
fine there.
solved. Yeah.
So that,
They're made to get wet.
yeah, so that's kind of easy.
Yeah.
And then they were saying that they want to make sure before they lock everything up final, that they have all the carts on charge, that they have all the they've filled fueled up all their maintenance equipment that runs on fuel. They've got those all topped off and ready, so that if they don't have power when they get back, they've got carts that they can use to run around the course and
Pick up debris.
see what they need to
Yeah.
do and get everything ready.
Right.
So it's quite an endeavor. I would I have to guess. I mean, it's got to be.
And they probably have to do some drills to develop the timing.
Yeah.
I guess that's what my
get an
thinking is.
idea. You had to get an idea.
How long does it take?
How long does it take?
Yeah.
Does
You
it
don't
take
know
4
until
hours? Does it take 8 hours? Does it,
Yeah.
are you into 2 days? I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be pretty crazy. So
yeah, but getting that 5 days out notice from the National Weather Center is, I mean, think
really
about
helps. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're up north, if you're in Michigan,
Mhm.
Indiana, Illinois, wherever, right? And it's tornadoes rolling through there. You don't get but maybe a few minutes.
You got
notice,
5 minutes notice,
Yeah.
not 5 days.
right?
Oh yeah.
And so things happen, and you just have to deal with it. But you cannot collect your stuff soon enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The best you can hope to do is send off a siren or alarm if there's lightning coming,
Yeah.
right? If you got electrically charged clouds, okay, we'll let people know that maybe it's not a good idea to be the highest point on in the field.
Don't be. What was it? Lee Trevino said he would do in case of a lightning storm. He's going to grab a 1-iron and hold it up over his head because even God can't hit a 1-iron.
Holy Lee Trevino.
One of Lee's famous quotes. Yeah.
And he actually was struck by lightning.
Twice.
Yes. What are the odds?
I know. Like, don't stand near him.
Wow.
You think about somebody you can stand next to. No, I'm not going to
No.
stand. There's a storm coming. Damn it. I'm in Lee's group. God bless it.
Here we go. Make sure you're grounded.
Exactly. Grabbing onto anything rubberized or
Oh, God.
whatever it is to keep it
Oh,
from.
my God.
Jeez.
No tin foil.
No, and no 1-irons.
No 1-irons.
Oh man. Well, just a week or so ago, the PGA Tour announced its 2019-2020 season schedule.
All right.
And now a few years ago, it used to be the season started in January,
Mhm.
but not anymore. Doesn't do that anymore. They got rid of Q School several years back, and as a result, after the FedEx Cup Championships, we start the new golf season, so to speak, on tour.
All right.
So they have announced the 2019-2020 schedule. There are 49 FedEx Cup tournaments. So pretty much every week of the year they're playing.
Wow.
They take I think they take a break during, I think, the US Open, and they got another break in there somewhere around the holidays for Christmas and stuff, but they play events opposite the World Golf Championships so that the guys that aren't playing in those events get to play. So that's like 2 weeks. That's like 1 week you get 2 tournaments.
Wow.
So some of them doubled up. So it's not
Mhm.
like they're only taking 3 weeks off. They're still taking a few weeks off, but it's a busy schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, they've also changed the opening. They've dramatically changed the opening segment and several late season adjustments because next summer, about this time next year, they'll be playing the Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo.
In Tokyo.
And we will have.
They actually have a golf course in Tokyo, huh?
Oh, they love golf in Japan.
Yeah.
Japan is huge.
But
into
I mean,
golf.
they're so strapped for land area.
Well, I'm sure it's not on the top of, it's not like there's a tee box on one building and there's the green on another. I mean, you got to go outside the city. There's probably some
Wow.
golf, but yeah, that'll be neat.
Yeah.
I hope they change the format a little bit.
Mm.
I think I mentioned this a
If you
couple
hit
weeks
it from
back.
Fujiyama, though, you probably get a pretty good roll.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. So, Justin Rose, I guess, will be there to defend his
Cool.
That's the interesting part. I mean, you got qualifying for it. I mean, you're the defending gold medal champion. I mean, what if you haven't been playing that well? Do you still get to go and defend? Because
Yeah.
most places you get to defend your title.
Right.
But I don't think the Olympics works that way. I mean, you finished, you got the gold medal in the 100
was last-
meter hurdles. You don't get 4 years later. You don't get an automatic invite back to defend it.
You got to earn your way
You
back
got to earn
on.
your way back in. So
Yeah.
that could be interesting. You never know.
You really pose an excellent question. Is that apply to golfers? Do they have to earn their way back on
Yeah.
the roster?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
There are, let's see. So, like we said, there are 49 FedEx Cup tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 new tournaments in they call it the Zozo Championship, which one is in Japan, or excuse me, they're both in Japan. They then have the Bermuda Championship, and there is the return of the military tribute at the Greenbrier, which actually kicks off the whole season.
Yeah.
So interesting. Now the Greenbrier, that's not that far from DC. I believe at one time there's actually places at the Greenbrier where people from DC that might have been running should the Russians have attacked. There's actually places for them to stay in the mountains there in Virginia where they could hide out and hang out and
Fallout shelters.
and basically let the rest of us die and then
Okay.
jump out and play golf
All
and
right.
then go back underground.
It's just like that squirrel from Caddyshack, right? Or that
The gopher. The
yeah.
gopher, yeah. Gopher.
All right.
So July 27th through August 2nd is when the Olympic competition is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So they will then resume with the Wyndham Championship and 3 FedEx Cup events. A couple of other changes, most notably the Rocket Mortgage Classic in Detroit, which we just watched just a few weeks ago. They just had that. Is actually going to move all the way up into May. It's going to be played in May now instead of like sometime in early July.
So in May, that in Detroit, that could be a problem.
Could still be snow.
It's been known to happen.
Really? Gee whiz.
I mean, they had a rather cool May this year too. So, I mean, I don't know about snow, but certainly the greens won't look very green.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. Things don't green up there much before June.
Wow. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So now, we have the PGA Tour season. This season is ending late this month at the Tour Championship. Next year's is going to end in early September, so they're going to push it back. Obviously because of the Olympics. The Olympics are cutting into it a little bit. So locally, we still have. Let's see here. Like I said, they kick off the whole season September 9th through the 15th. That's this coming September. That's next month.
Right.
Not September of 2020. It's September of 2019 with the military tribute at the Greenbrier.
Yeah. Good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Should be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
They're following that up with the Sanderson Farms Championship in Mississippi.
Okay.
Interesting.
From
Virginia to Mississippi.
All right.
Okay. Then they head out to California for the Safeway Open.
Safeway, for our listeners that haven't been out west, is a
grocery store.
It is a grocery store chain, right?
Yeah.
Like Publix and Kroger.
Then they head to Vegas for a little while. They've got the Shriners Hospital for Children Open, which is played at TPC Summerlin. Then they go to Houston. Let's see here. Then they jump away for a week. They go all the way to Korea to play the CJ Cup at Nine Bridges in Korea.
All right.
All the way to Korea.
Wow.
That's a trip, man. From there, they will go to...
Do they get frequent flyer miles?
I would hope. From there, they go to Japan.
Yeah.
The Zozo Championship that we mentioned just a few minutes ago is in Japan. Then they go to China.
Mm-hmm.
The World Golf Championships at Shenzhen International Golf Club in Shanghai. Shanghai is the world's most populated city.
Oh, it is nuts.
It's 30-some million people in the city.
And Tesla is getting ready to open up their brand new mega factory.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Right there. They'll be cranking out Teslas there maybe by as early as the end of this year.
No shortage of workforce, I would think, with 30-some million people living in that.
Already done with the construction and getting ready to start cranking out cars. It's just insane.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Now, here's the part that I find bizarre. All right, now they just played in Japan.
Yeah.
They played in China.
Yeah.
The next event's in Bermuda.
Wow. Well,
You talk about
not even in the neighborhood.
Talk about your travel, your frequent flyer miles.
Woof.
And what kills me is the next week they're off.
Who's their booking agent?
They're off.
Yeah.
So you travel from either Japan or China to Bermuda,
Yeah, you should have
and then you get a week off.
No, see, you should get the
That's
week off.
messed up. It should have
Yeah,
been the other way around. The
exactly
week off
right.
should have been before that travel.
So, Ronald Reagan, it was out of all our presidents, was the only president that really knew how to travel.
Mhm.
When he had to do some round the world business,
Mhm.
right? He took his time and he traveled. He didn't kill himself. He beat himself up. But George Bush, when he took over the White House, it was Air Force One, he made the flight crew just nuts. He wanted, wherever he decided he wanted to be there yesterday. And so,
Wheels
yes.
up in 10 minutes, huh?
Well,
What-
here we go.
What? We're still waxing the plane.
No. So yeah, so it's yeah,
Wow.
you're right though. They really should have taken that week off and
would have
then-
made sense to me, but
right and use that as a travel week and just
Yeah.
kind of decompress a little bit before you
Yeah.
get started to go to the Bahamas. So
Yeah.
right?
yeah, from there they go to Mexico.
Mhm.
Wondering if wondering if Matt Kuchar is going to use the same caddy in Mexico that he used this last year.
Probably not.
I would think he's going to have trouble finding a caddy in Mexico.
He might have to bring his
He
own.
might have to bring his own this
Yeah.
time. Yeah. From there, they go back to St. Simon's Island,
Mhm.
which rounds out the calendar year 2019. That puts them the week of Christmas. So they're taking off the week of Christmas through the 8th of January.
Wow.
And then,
Oh wait, there's more.
actually, no, I'm sorry. That is November, not December. November 25th
Ah.
through December 8th, they have off
Oh.
because they're playing the President's Cup in December at the Royal Melbourne Golf Club.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Royal Melbourne?
Yeah, we've heard it before.
'Cause
Right?
there's probably,
Yeah.
yeah. Because there's a Melbourne just up the
Oh,
road. here,
that's
too.
true.
The golf clubs there aren't quite as
But
nice as
doesn't
the
the
Royal Melbourne.
does the Trump family own that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, okay, because they already own 18
yet.
golf courses.
Yeah. So then we get into then they have a break. They basically they have off pretty much the whole month of December unless they're playing in the President's Cup. Then they head out to the part of the schedule we're used to seeing. They go out to the Tournament of Champions in Hawaii. Then they play the Sony Open in Hawaii. And then they head to California for a couple of events. Then Arizona. Then back and forth. And they finally arrive in Florida on February the 24th.
Okay, good time to be in Florida.
So February the 24th through March the 1st
Yeah,
is
cool.
the Honda Classic right down the street.
Yes.
I mean, March is such a cool month in Florida because you have spring training baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You have golf is all over. The professional tours are all over the place.
Right.
Here, then you have. Hopefully, the Panthers will play a little better hockey this year, and we'll have a playoff push to watch for the Panthers. Knock on wood. So we have the Honda Classic, which is February 24th through March the 1st. Then they take the Turnpike North and go to Arnie's Place at the
Nice.
Bay Hill Club and Lodge for the Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Mhm.
Then they take I-4 over and a little bit north on 95 to the TPC Sawgrass for the Players. That's March the 9th through the 15th. I like having the Players in March versus when they used to have it in May.
Mhm.
It was just too godforsakenly hot when they had it in May.
Right.
And from there, they turn around and they go all the way back to the other side of the state to Palm Harbor over there on the other side of Tampa Bay, on the west side of Tampa Bay for the Valspar Championship, played at the Innisbrook Salamander Resort. I've played there, and that course is neat in that I really didn't think I would see, that particular area of Florida, a golf course that had hills. I figured, you had to be up near Ocala, somewhere up in there to get real hills.
Right.
I don't know how they got there, but they got a lot of hills on that golf course.
Nice.
There is a lot of elevation change and an awful, awful, awful lot of trees. And I say that because when we went, I went and stayed there with the family once,
Yeah.
and my son and I played, And we got done, and my son walked into the pro shop, and he said to the head pro, he said, "What's your course record?" Pro was like, "Whoa." He says, "Wow, did you play well today? What'd you shoot?" My son goes, No, not score, trees. I think I hit every tree on your golf course today. He was in them all day long.
That sounds like the way I would be playing.
He did not have a good time.
Oh man,
He was not a very happy camper.
he thought he was up in the woods playing, huh?
Yeah, he
Inside
was
of a forest.
Yeah, he was definitely playing in the forest. Let's see, April 6th through the 12th, we have the Masters. So our first major of the year comes at the Masters as usual in early April. Let's see, we have the PGA Championship once again in May, since they moved it from August, which I think is a good idea.
Right.
I mean, you're playing, you have the Players, then the Masters, then the PGA, then the US Open, then the Open Championship. So for 5 straight months, you've got 4 majors and an almost major in a big event the month before all those start. They'll be playing, the PGA Championship is being played at Harding Park out in San Francisco.
Oh.
That'll be interesting. Teeing off in the fog. That's the only problem with playing out there. You got to watch for the fog delays out there.
It is just amazing to watch the fog roll in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you look at those pictures of, the Golden Gate Bridge with the fogs all the way around the bottom of it. It just looks so surreal. It's like, what? It just looks so neat.
Right.
To see this man-made thing just climbing out of these fog clouds. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Jack's event is the 1st of June. The Memorial up in Ohio. We have the U.S. Open June 15th through the 21st, which is being played at Wingfoot Golf Club in New York. Nicely done. And let's see, the final major of the year, once again, is the Open Championship, which will be played in Sandwich, England at Royal St. George's Golf Club. Why would you name a city Sandwich? Of course, I think it was named well before the invention of the sandwich. In fact, that's probably where the sandwich came from.
Right. It's actually named after the Earl of Sandwich.
The Earl of Sandwich.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes.
so there you have it. And and then we have, August we have the Olympics, and then the 4 events for the FedEx Cup Championship, finishing up with the Tour Championship at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta.
Okay. Excellent.
So a lot of stuff to do.
Right. Okay. Well, we're going to check with our guys that are on 15 right now. And then we'll be right back.
130 yards now.
Bill's got a very tough lie here.
Looks like we have some sort of sea monster in the water hazard here.
I believe that's a kraken, Bruce.
It looks like he's going to go with the 9-iron. That may not be enough club.
Well, he's definitely going to lose a stroke on this hole.
And welcome back to the Wednesday Night Golf Show, the Hump Day edition.
Hump Day.
WSTU Radio and WSTU1450.com. Coming to you from the Stewart Studios.
Yes, and beautiful downtown historic.
Historic. That's not hysterical downtown
Or
Stewart. It's historical.
Some days hysterical too. It depends upon the jokes we tell.
Yeah, really. Right here on lovely US 1.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we were before the break we talked about a little in depth about the PGA Tour's new schedule for 20
and it's entirely different.
2019, 2020. Some things are the same, some things are different. Fortunately, we haven't lost any events in Florida. In fact, we're supposed to gain an LPGA Tour event. And it's interesting because the LPGA Tour's headquarters is in Daytona. But we don't have an LPGA Tour event in Florida.
Wow.
And in fact, I got an email. Not quite sure how I wound up subscribing to this, but I must have at some point in time or some way. But the LPGA Tour's course up in Daytona, they have a whole resort up there. It's kind of like PGA National, but it's owned by the PGA Tour, or excuse me, the LPGA Tour. Their headquarters is up there in Daytona. They have a beautiful golf course up there. The golf course is for sale.
Really?
Yeah. The golf course is for sale. And I think they were looking for somewhere around a little over $4 million for it or something, which is that's a pretty big wad of cash.
It is. Yeah.
And
wonder if they're on a payment plan.
And what I found even more interesting was they said that it has, projected revenue of $5.2 million annually, but they're losing money right now.
Oof.
If you're projecting you can make $5 and you're losing money right now, and
so what are you spending?
Either you're really or your projections are really
they're not meeting
ambitious.
I mean, their expectations is not meeting reality.
Yeah. So if you got a spare $4 million and change laying around out there, and you want to own your own golf course, you can buy the LPGA International course up there in Daytona.
Remember when we interviewed a guy about a year or so back about a golf course up that way?
Yeah, it was a group that bought they bought 2 courses in Brevard County. They bought not the majors. They bought the Habitat at Valkyria.
Okay.
And then they bought the golf Spessard Holland up on Melbourne Beach. They bought those 2 golf courses. In fact, I need to get with them and I need to get out there and play some golf maybe this weekend.
Ooh,
and play some golf out there. I haven't played the Habitat in quite some time. I haven't played the Habitat in quite. It's probably been about 10, 12 years since I last played that golf course.
But they were soliciting for people to participate in the golf course because they were concerned about being available, right?
Yeah. They were. I mean, the county had owned it, and the county was basically going to close it and turn it into a park.
Right.
And they were like, no. I mean, and Spessard Holland. I mean, I've lived in Florida since 1977.
All right.
And to my knowledge, Spessard Holland's been there that entire time. I always found it interesting, what Spessard Holland. It's kind of an odd name for a golf course.
Yeah, it is.
But I did some research on it.
Okay.
When I wrote a story on those guys. Spessard Holland was actually governor of Florida at one time.
Huh.
It's named after a former governor of the state of Florida.
So is Martin County.
Yeah.
Named after governor. Yep.
Huh. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
And St. Lucy's named after the river, just in case you people are wondering.
That's true.
As is Indian River.
Right. Yep.
But we'd mentioned, the PGA Tour schedule. There's another championship coming to Port St. Lucie next year. Mm-hmm. The PGA Golf Club in Port St. Lucie is going to host both the boys and girls junior PGA championships next summer. The boys junior PGA championship will be contested July 13th through the 16th, and the girls will play the following week, 2 weeks later, the 28th through the 31st. Each event is going to feature 144 players in 4-round, 18-hole medal play. So, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about some of the people in the past. I didn't even realize some of the LPGA and PGA Tour pros that we have out there now that played in this event over the years. When all the way back when they were in high school. You had Tiger Woods played in this event. Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Phil Mickelson, all competed in this event. Lexi Thompson, NB Park, and Araya Untengarn.
That's easy for you to say.
Untengarn.
Okay, it sounds Swedish, right?
I
It's Norwegian
hope.
of some sort, yeah.
after I butchered her name. She's also played. I mean, and those
Yeah.
every single one of them has won a major
Wow.
on their respective tour.
Mm.
So you think about, I mean, if you obviously you can go out there and watch this event. There's the PGA of America doesn't charge anything to go out there and watch this event. They love having some people out there to watch and cheer these kids on while they're playing. So I mean, here's a chance you might just happen. I mean, how many of you would have liked to have gone? Right now, I saw Tiger Woods when he played high school golf in a high school championship. I saw him play in an event between his senior year of high school and his first year at Stanford. I mean, that not many people could say that. So I mean, here's a chance that you might actually see someone that 4 or 5 years from now might be one of the big names on tour.
Yeah.
So that'd be pretty neat. That would be most interesting.
Yes.
Let's see. We finished. We've finished up the majors on the men's tour. Obviously, it's you kind of got to. A lot of people want to pick their golfer of the year. And I mean, with our season ending here in a couple of weeks,
right?
Why not? It's kind of hard not to take Brooks Koepka. I mean, he won a major.
Yeah.
Finished second at the Masters and the U.S. Open.
Right.
And was tied for fourth at the Open Championship. So, I mean, you've got a win, 2 seconds, and a fourth. I mean, short of winning 2 majors, you ain't catching him.
Yeah,
and nobody else did. So,
yeah, good point.
I'd say it's probably a pretty good bet that he should be the golfer of the year, player of the year.
Slam dunk, huh? It's a
he's only
basketball metaphor. Huh?
He's only the 5th golfer in recorded history to finish top 5 in every major in a single year.
Wow. That really says something.
Yeah, that's pretty
It's
cool.
nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, really.
I mean,
wow.
Think about some other things. I mean, we had Tiger Woods won the. I mean, that might be the story of the year was Tiger winning at the Masters.
Oh, I think so.
I mean, everybody's been waiting for him to do it. When's he going to win another major? When's he going to win again? Obviously, it's a place he's very comfortable with. I mean, he knows his way around that golf course as well as anybody.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a huge surprise. What surprised me was the guys that kind of fell apart and fell off at the end. But it's good for golf. Good for golf for him to be there in the winner's circle, especially in a major. Don't know that I want him to catch Jack. I think he may have to do it at the Masters. He may have to win 3 more Masters in order to do it because he wasn't competitive in any of the other majors really. So we'll see what happens. Time for another break? Just about?
Yeah, pretty soon. We got about 30 seconds.
Just another 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here.
Well, stand by. We'll be back after these messages and we'll catch up. So, yeah, stick with us because we have much more to cover.
And welcome back to the final segment of the Wednesday Night Golf Show, the Humpday edition.
Humpday.
Happy August, everybody.
Yes.
Hope you're staying cool out there.
Seems like it was just
We got-
July a minute ago.
I know we got
Yeah.
what the dog days of summer is
Right.
what, July and August?
No, just
Or is
August.
it August and September? Is it just August?
I think August.
Well, in Florida, it's like June through September
it
or
actually has
November.
to do with the dog star Cirrus.
Ah, interesting.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
you got to
didn't
take
know
a
that.
trip to Rome to learn all that stuff.
Ah,
Yes. That's where it all comes from.
one in Rome. It was,
The Roman Empire created that. Yes.
uh-huh.
The dog
Interesting.
days.
Interesting. Had nothing to do with the heat and
No.
panting like a dog as you're
No,
sweating
no,
to death. did
no.
it? Really?
Yeah.
See, I learned something just
Yeah.
now. Wow. How about that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
my
A
goodness.
noggin full of useless information. That's me. That's what my ex-wife used to call me, useless.
Someday you're going to be on.
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy.
Yeah.
And the final Jeopardy question is going to pop up, and it's going to be some stupid,
And I'll go,
bizarre ass
I know,
thing.
I
Some
know this.
completely
I know
bizarre,
this."
weird thing, and you're going to go, I got this. And of course, you might be like, what was it, Cliff Clavin
Yes.
in
Cheers.
Cheers when he got there, and it was a postal question, and he completely froze.
Giving Cliff Clavin a postal question is like giving him a lob pitch, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And he flubbed it.
Yep, he flubbed it. I think
Ah.
if I remember correctly, it was supposed to be a person, and he had to know it, and he drew a complete blank.
Oh my God.
And his answer was, "Who is someone who's never been in my house?" It's like, well, it is the right answer. He's never been there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what they were looking.
No, not the answer they were looking for. That is too funny. That's brilliant. Only
Oh,
Cliff
man.
Clavin could come up with that.
Yeah. So we're
John Roethlisberger or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ratzenberger.
Ratzenberger, yeah.
He was also the voice. He's also the voice of the pig in all the Toy Story movies.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, we mentioned before the break, we were talking about, the majors, the end of the year, all the stuff that was going on. And,
Mhm.
basically Brooks Koepka is going to probably be your player of the year. The story of the year might be, Tiger's return to winning a major and all the hype. I mean, the minute I don't even think they got done slipping the green jacket on him, and already people were going, "Oh my gosh, he's going to win the Grand Slam."
Right.
Like people, pump the brakes a little bit.
Right.
That's
Don't get the cart in front of the horse. Yeah.
well, there was only does the name Shugo Imahara. It's a name to remember.
Shugo Imahara.
Imahira.
Okay.
Imahara. Shugo Imahara.
So this is a Japanese.
He holds the
Yeah.
distinction
Yes.
of being the only man to
Yeah.
miss all four cuts at all four to miss the cut at all four majors this
Oh
year.
my God.
Got to play in all four of them.
And he missed
The cut in every one of them.
Oh. Talk about getting so close.
I know. It's like,
Wow.
wow, man.
Wow. Poor guy.
Hey, he was there.
But he doesn't even get a consolation prize.
No. I mean,
Nothing.
he gets to walk around and watch everybody else play
Right.
Saturday and Sunday, but it's like, can you imagine you get in every, I mean, come on, man. Just one cut. Just play one weekend in one of the majors. But no.
No.
Yeah, you got to feel sorry for his caddy, because
Yeah.
it's a big payday if you make a cut in a major, and you don't make a cut, you get nothing. So his caddy basically got whatever his weekly
Stipend is.
stipend is.
Yeah. Wow.
And I've heard, and it's interesting. I'd love to sit down. Caddies, I've tried talking to some of the caddies, and they don't like divulging too much.
Right.
But
They have to keep
I
it
mean-
alive. Well, because they're confidants too.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, and someone was telling me that the normal, run of the mill average player, average caddy, is about $1,600 a week.
All
They
right.
get paid $1,600 a week.
Not bad.
Not bad. Now, out of that $1,600 a week,
They got to do a lot of work.
you got to do a lot of work. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're paying for your own travel,
Right.
your own hotel, your own food, and everything else, that's that's a lot of that bites a big chunk out of that.
Right. That's out of your budget. In
That's-
addition
yeah.
to the time you have to spend doing all the bird dog work
Oh, yeah.
to measure the holes,
yeah.
to figure out what clubs he's going to use,
Oh, yeah.
look at the lay,
Yeah.
right? Because you have to walk the course before your
Oh, yeah.
boss does, right?
Oh yeah, you got to have everything all figured out. So when
Yeah.
he says, "All right, I'm
What do
standing,
I need?
I'm
Yeah.
standing here. How far is it to carry that bunker?" You don't want to go. Well, give me 6 minutes. No, you need to be able to figure it out real quick.
Right.
So, but then they do get, if a player makes a cut, they usually get 5%. If the player finishes in the top 10, they get 7% of the check. And if they win, it's normally 10%.
Nice.
So if you get a player that wins an event,
Right.
that's $1 million. You're going to get 100 G.
Right.
That ain't too bad for struggling around for $1,600 a week for a little while.
Yeah.
So
Makes it doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
now some players actually have contracts where I just pay you and that's it.
Flat.
I play you flat and that's
Right.
it. You're going to make 100 grand this year and that's all you're going to make, no matter whether I win, lose, or otherwise.
And that's okay too.
But that's okay. But
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's, gee, man, it'd be nice to have a bonus. you
Yeah.
know? Anyway.
Well,
Well,
but it's sure money, right?
Yeah, that's true. Talking about, lately there's been a lot of talk about slow play.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to a pro tournament, you watch these guys, it's kind of like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
Especially when they get on the green.
Mhm.
Well, here's some therapy. The European Tour, the European Tour Originals team of Thomas Dietrich, Sean Crocker, Guido Migliozzi,
Oh,
or Migliozzi.
it's not Guido Sarducci.
No, it's
huh?
Guido Migliozzi and Paul Dunn.
Okay. Paul done.
All took a shot at the Guinness World Record for the fastest hole of golf
Wow.
by an individual. The record is 1 minute and 33 seconds.
Wow.
The rules of the attempt dictate that that it has to be a par 5 hole and has to play to a minimum of 500 yards, with each player required to finish the hole carrying the same number of clubs they started with.
Hmm.
So you can't leave clubs out in the fairway and just hit and then run to it. You got to carry your clubs with you.
Right.
All 4 of them tried it, and it was the 26-year-old Dietrich who succeeded in breaking the standing record, going from tee to green in 1 minute 29.62 seconds.
Wow.
So played a par 5, and that's not with a cart. That's carrying your bag, and obviously, he didn't carry all 14 clubs. He took probably his driver, maybe a fairway wood, a 7-iron, and a putter.
Right.
And hit the ball, and while the ball was still going up in the air, he's running with a bag to get to wherever it lands so he could hit his next shot. I would say in order to do that, you got to not only hit it quick, but you got to hit it well,
Yeah.
because you figure if your first shot goes way right or way left, or you're done. You don't even get a chance. You're not gonna break the record because you might not find your ball real easy. So,
That's true enough.
so you probably want to pick a hole that's got wide fairways.
Yeah.
No water.
Yeah.
You don't want water because
No.
especially since you got to run.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to run around an obstacle. You don't
no.
want an island green where you got to run halfway around the to the right to get over the bridge and then get to the green. So that's interesting. Under 1 minute and 30 seconds to play a hole of golf from the minute you strike the tee shot to the minute the ball goes into the cup.
That's got to be a Guinness World Record.
I don't think I could run from the tee to the green in 1 minute and 33 seconds, much less stop and hit a golf ball in the midst of doing all that.
That is nuts.
Not in my physical shape these days. Not going to happen.
Could you imagine how winded you would be just getting to the first shot?
I'm winded just thinking about it. I need a nap now.
The guy, he probably has to practice doing wind sprints before he even attempted this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, really. So I guess Usain Bolt would be somebody you'd want to have try.
You heard about these guys that do these activities where they carry their wives with them? There's an activity where
Who would want to do anything with that?
wife carrying contest.
Jeez. Does it involve dropping her in the ocean? No.
No.
Sorry about that.
No.
All right. That's it for us, folks. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next Wednesday.